Hey, I'm Tasha. Today I am cleaning up from camping, putting things away, and using up the camping food that we have left over. I have a wide variety of ingredients that I don't normally eat mono meals out of, and I really love eating mono meals. It makes me feel the best. So since I have a variety of ingredients, I thought I'd do a recipe. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some pizza bites because that's what my ingredients look good for. So when we were camping, I found that I really loved using squash as a bread, like as a holder. So it worked well for when I was eating my eggs. It worked well for the hamburgers. So I think that's what I'm going to do for my bread. And I've also used red bell pepper for my bread, and I've seen some people use jicama for their bread. But obviously not all of it's going to be bread, so what I thought I'd do is cut up the squash that can be bread and use one or two of these as bread, and then chop everything else up as topping for my pizza. Another reason I wanted to do this is because these tomatoes have been refrigerated or in the cooler all week, and you're not really supposed to refrigerate tomatoes because they lose their flavor. So I thought if it was mixed with other things, it would help it still taste good. And this dressing, I have to say, all during camping we had problems with it wanting to explode if it wasn't cold enough. So we had to keep running over to the cooler and shoving it under ice. But now that the level is down to about there, it seems to be doing okay in normal air. So this will be a great cheese topping. Now, my sister always used to make these great veggie pizzas. It was like an appetizer where it had like a creamy sauce on top of the bread and then the different veggie ingredients on top. It was like a little raw pizza. So I think that's probably how I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the bread down with a little bit of cheesy sauce, and then the ingredients on top, and I'm going to food process them so that I don't have to cut them. I'm just going to make them really small. But I don't want to blend them into, you know, a mash, so I want to keep at least some chunks in there. So here we go. Starting with the bread, I'm going to take off the ends that aren't big enough to be a holder, or that I don't think would be, and I'm going to put those in the food processor. And then slice this into bread. I suppose you can do any thickness you like. I'm not really sure which thickness I like, but this seems to be a medium. I didn't like them when they were extremely thick. That should be good. So here are some bread bottoms. I'll work on those while it's food processing. I'm going to stick these smaller ones in the processor as well. since there seems to be a good number of bread pieces. And this is a jalapeno pepper? No, it's a poblano. I think it's a poblano. And I don't usually eat peppers, so I'm gonna put it on my pizza. It's an Italian spicy pepper, so I think it might be good for a pizza. It's probably going to be too hot for me because I'm not into hot, but to use up my ingredients. Now red bell pepper, we have these two that would be good for, this is what I use for a normal pizza slice, so I'm just going to keep these as big pizza slices and cut up this bell pepper. And the jicama is actually kind of soft, I guess because it's been sitting in that bag. I'll probably keep out 2 of these as well and then food process the rest. I think it's actually starting to, you know, go bad. So it's good that I'm making this today. So, there's 2 bell peppers in here, 2 things. We had them for our shish kebabs, and the rest are tomatoes. They look generally okay, so I'm going to throw them all in. Well, I was thinking about straining it, but it's actually really good, so I might just leave it as is. I'll put a lid on the strainer for a very short time, but I'm not going to squeeze the juice out of it very much. so there's the topping. And I'll make one of each for now. I actually need to run out to the garden and get some fresh green onions, chives. Woo! Got a little bit more than I was supposed to. Now it's kind of getting soaked into the jicama, which is good to know. It's basically staying on top of the red bell pepper, and it's for sure staying on top of the yellow squash. So that's something that's important to know for how the pizza is going to turn out. Okay, and for now, for this video, I'll just sprinkle on... Oh! I have this pizza seasoning. It's from Frontier Natural Products. It's a salt-free blend, and it has onion, bell peppers, fennel, oregano, garlic, basil, chili peppers, parsley, thyme, marjoram, and celery flakes. So I guess I'll just sprinkle some of this on. So that's going to make it more like pizza and less like the veggie pizza appetizer. So this is kind of a combo of the two. So we'll see how it tastes. I like it very much. So I approve of the squash one. The jicama works, but because the flavor of jicama is so watery, it kind of tastes like you're biting into water on the bottom part, and I kind of like having a little bit of a flavor that comes from the squash. But jicama holds it well, and at this point it's kind of soft, so that's nice. The red pepper is definitely very good, and it holds things well. It does have more of a strong pepper flavor, red bell pepper, so that's what you are going to taste a lot of that in the tomatoes. So I'm thinking my preference is this yellow squash because it's more bready. It's got a little bit of flavor without overdoing it. And I like the yellow squash because it's a little drier than zucchini, so that seems to work really well without getting slimy. So that's my pizza bite, and really happy that I can use up my leftover food, and it works out great for a recipe. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!